Bismillah, Uman, Ar-Rahim, there are moments in history that change the world forever, moments that are so powerful, so timeless, that their words echo through the ages. For us as Muslims, there is no moment more sacred, more profound, than the day our beloved Prophet Muhammad stood before his people on the plains of Arafat and delivered his final sermon, the Khutbah al-Wada. This wasn't just any speech, it was a farewell message, the words of a man who had fulfilled his mission, the words of a prophet who knew his time was near, the words of a messenger who had carried the message of Allah for 23 years and now stood before over 120 companions, delivering a summary not just for them, but for every Muslim until the end of time. This was not an ordinary day. It was the 9th of Dhul-Hijjah in the 10th year after Hijrah. It was the day of Arafah, the most sacred day of the Islamic calendar. The sun was shining down upon the desert. The heat was intense, and there stood the Prophet on the back of his camel, al-Qaswa, delivering a sermon that would echo for more than 400 years. He began by praising and thanking Allah. Then he said, "O people, listen to me carefully, for I do not know whether I shall ever meet you again in this place after this year." These opening words are enough to bring tears to the heart. The Prophet knew his time was coming to an end. This was his goodbye, his last public address, a message not just for the people in front of him, but for you and me sitting here today. He continued, "O people, just as you regard this month, this day, this city as sacred, so regard the life and property of every Muslim as a sacred trust." These words were revolutionary. At a time when tribalism, blood feuds, and honor-based revenge ruled the Arab lands, the Prophet was declaring that the life, property, and dignity of every Muslim is inviolable. This is the foundation of human rights in Islam. No one can harm another, no one can take from another, and no one can look down on another. He then said, "Return the goods entrusted to you to their rightful owners. Hurt no one so that no one may hurt you." Imagine a world where every person followed this one sentence, where no one betrayed trust, where no one harmed another. This is Islam, a religion of justice, mercy, and accountability. Then the Prophet addressed one of the greatest evils in society, interest, or riba. He said, "Allah has forbidden you to take interest. Therefore, all interest obligations shall henceforth be waived." Interest is not just an economic system. It is a tool of oppression. The strong feed off the weak. The rich exploit the poor. Islam came to end this imbalance and return fairness to society. He then declared, "Beware of Shaytan for the safety of your religion. He has lost all hope that he will ever be able to lead you astray in big things, so beware of following him in small things." These are chilling words. Shaytan knows he cannot misguide believers through the major sins, so he attacks from the side. A little pride here, a little envy there, a few missed prayers, a few ignored commands. And slowly the heart turns dark. The Prophet warned us, don't let the small things become your downfall. He continued, "O people, you have certain rights over your wives, and they have rights over you." This was one of the most groundbreaking declarations in human history. At a time when women were treated as property, the Prophet gave them dignity, rights, and protection. He taught that marriage is not dominance, it's a partnership. That women are not inferior, they are equals in the sight of Allah. And that the best man is the one who is best to his wife. He said, "Treat your women well and be kind to them, for they are your partners and committed helpers." These words should be written on the walls of every home. The true measure of a man is not in how he leads others, but in how he treats those under his care. The Prophet reminded us that kindness is the foundation of a successful home. He then turned to the matter of unity. He said, all mankind is from Adam and Eve. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor does a non-Arab have superiority over an Arab. Also a white has no superiority over black, nor does a black have any superiority over white except by piety and good action. These words shattered every racist system in history. In a world obsessed with race, nationality, and color, the Prophet reminded us that we are all from the same dust, that your color, your language, your tribe, none of it matters. What matters is your heart, your taqwa, your righteousness, he said. Learn that every Muslim is a brother to every Muslim, and that the Muslims constitute one brotherhood. This wasn't just a social message, it was a global revolution. The Prophet united the hearts of people across generations and continents. He taught that your brother is not just the man in your tribe or village, it is every Muslim, everywhere. We are one Ummah, one body. And if one part is hurting, the whole body feels the pain. Then came the declaration that stunned the world. The Prophet said, I leave behind me two things, the Qur'an and my Sunnah. If you follow them, you will never go astray. He didn't leave behind wealth. He didn't leave a kingdom. He left behind guidance. The Qur'an, the eternal word of Allah, and the Sunnah, the lived example of the Messenger. These are our roadmap, our compass, our light in the darkness. And then the Prophet raised his voice and said, O people, you will be asked about me on the day of judgment. What will you say? Imagine that moment. Over 100,000 companions are standing. Their eyes are full of tears, their hearts are trembling, and in one voice they shout, we bear witness that you have conveyed the message, fulfilled the trust, and advised the Ummah. The Prophet then looked up to the heavens, raised his finger, and said, O Allah, bear witness, O Allah, bear witness, O Allah, bear witness. These were his final public words, a seal on the prophethood, a completion of the message. This sermon, delivered over 400 years ago, still stands today as one of the most powerful declarations of human dignity, divine responsibility, and moral clarity. But the question is not whether we know this sermon. The question is, are we living by it? Do we respect the life and property of others? Do we avoid interest and cheating? Do we treat women with honor and kindness? Do we fight against racism and tribalism in our hearts and societies? Do we follow the Qur'an and Sunnah as our way of life? Do we protect ourselves from Shaytan's tricks in the small things? This sermon is not a relic. It's a blueprint, a final message from the best of creation to every Muslim soul. The Prophet delivered it with tears in his eyes, with the weight of the Ummah on his shoulders, with love in his heart for people he would never see. He gave it for us, for you, for me. And today, when the Ummah is broken, divided, and bleeding, we must return to this sermon. Let its words cleanse our hearts. Let its message unite our ranks. Let its light guide our path. And let us remember that when the Prophet said those final words, he wasn't just speaking to the people of Makkah and Medina. He was speaking to you, yes you, the Muslim scrolling through your phone, the one distracted by dunya, the one struggling to hold on, the one trying to return to Allah. This sermon was for you, so hold on to it. Live by it, spread it, and let it be your companion until the day you meet the one who gave it. May Allah allow us to follow the words of his messenger. May he unite us upon truth. And may we be among those who, on the day of judgment, stand with our Prophet and say, Ya Rasul Allah, we heard your message and we tried to live by it. Ameen. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.